Alright, y'all. Once again, I am Nina K. Simone, and I'm back again to do part 2. I know y'all like, you only do a review once a week. Why we keep seeing you? But I had a lot of stuff to talk about, and I don't know what's my limit on YouTube just yet. So I wanted to go in real quick on this Chris Brown versus Drake versus Meek Mills versus Tiana Taylor versus whoever was at the nightclub. So these last, I guess 2 days or 1 day, it's been like 17 different stories, mostly made up by people who blog like me on Twitter and Media Takeout and all these places. But pretty much to my knowledge, there was an incident where bottles were being thrown in the club. Some people were saying Chris Brown gets into an argument, an altercation with Drake, and his people threw the bottles. Reportedly, Drake said he had nothing to do with that situation. Then they were saying, well, it had to be Meek Mills, or someone from Maybach Music, or Wale, whoever else was there at the club. And the situation got to where Chris Brown's chin got cut, like right here, and one of his bodyguards or whatever got his head busted open. Now, pretty much a lot of people been going in saying, oh, they supposed to be men, they acting like little bitches, throwing bottles and all this stuff, and Chris Brown always in trouble, and he always doing shit, and then they say it's not him, and the people who support him say it's not him, and they gonna say, Nina, you gonna have some statement to say where I'm defending Chris Brown because I'm a Chris Brown fan, or stan, whatever you want to call me. I don't really give a fuck. Pretty much the way it looks to me is, I think like 2 months ago, I went to go visit one of my friends for her birthday in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was a 2 Chainz concert. Okay. It was a crowded ass space. It wasn't nowhere to sit. My feet was hurting. People who had attitudes, I had attitude. When 2 Chainz finally came on around 2 a.m., all the men ran to the front of the stage like some hoes to watch them perform. And, my feet started hurting. So I said, fuck this concert. I seen enough of 2 Chainz. I'm going to sit outside. And when y'all ready, I'll be outside. Well, I guess I had a sixth sense. When I think some shit gonna go wrong, I always put myself out of the situation unless it's involving me. Maybe 10 minutes later, me sitting outside, a bunch of people start running out of the club. I'm like, what the fuck? It's one man talking about they shooting. Now, I ain't heard no gunshots, so I know they ain't shooting. But I moved off the steps of the back door of the club because I'm like, shit, y'all ain't gonna stump over me running for whatever reason you running from. Come to find out, some people in the above VIP area threw tables and chairs off the balcony, and it bust one dude's head open. And the situation was so fucked up because they called all these police and these ambulances, but they didn't arrest nobody, and they didn't take a dude whose head got busted open to the hospital. They didn't lay him out on the ground outside of the club. He laying on the ground, and somebody holding a towel over his head, his girlfriend or whatever talking to him, and he's fucked up. So with the whole situation, I don't think they fighting over Rihanna because everybody in that little situation has had Rihanna and they didn't move on from Rihanna. I'm tired of people always trying to make everything about fucking Rihanna. Nobody gives a fuck about Rihanna. I just realized my TV was on. Sorry about that. Nobody gives a fuck about Rihanna. It's not about that washed up hoe. She already had everybody. I don't think they was fighting. I can't see Drake fighting Chris Brown. I just can't see Drake fighting Chris Brown. I mean, that's just like Rihanna and Chris Brown having a fight part 2. Drake is a pussy. But anyway, to me, it looked more like the situation. It was probably some hating ass people in there who started throwing bottles. And I'm very sure that Chris Brown and his camp threw some shit back if they didn't start it. But I don't think they were fighting over Drake or anything like that. I just think it's a bunch of hating ass niggas. Because when you go to the club, it's crazy how the men are... They just, as soon as somebody with some money come in, they hate and they trying to throw a drink at them, a bottle of water, anything they could think of to throw at these men because they jealous because they got money and all the girls are screaming and looking at them. They want some fucking attention too. They have to show their ass to show that they tougher than them, so they start throwing bottles. I think some people that were in the nightclub threw the bottles at Chris Brown and his camp. I don't think it had nothing to do with Drake or Chris Brown or Rihanna. It's just sad that these entertainers today can't go nowhere. Y'all can't go to the club without getting into a fight. Whether you're getting into a fight or someone's trying to get into a fight with you, you know, it's fucked up. But I think in this situation, Chris Brown had his lip, his chin cut, his bodyguard head was bust open. I think his girlfriend got hit, and there was also another girl who got hit. Y'all want somebody to sue? Don't sue Chris Brown, because it's obviously his name's in it, but I doubt he really is responsible for it. Sue the promoter of the club and sue the owner of the club. As a promoter legally, well, I don't know about where in New York, but here in Chicago, promoters have to have insurance for situations like this after the E2 nightclub incident. So go sue the promoter and the club owner, because it's their fault. They didn't have enough security to contain the situation. The owners can blame, they're going to blame the stars because the stars got all the money and they can lose some. The club owner and the promoters, they not trying to lose none of the money that they made. That's who you need to sue. If you want to sue somebody, sue their asses, because they couldn't handle the situation once it got out of control. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about it. It's really fucking stupid. I know that Chris Brown and Drake wasn't fighting because Chris Brown went on a Twitter rant yesterday and he didn't mention shit about Drake. He was busy talking about how they don't pay him enough for this bullshit and all this other crazy stuff he was saying that somehow got deleted the next day. All I gotta say is, Chris, just own up to whatever the fuck it is you want to say. Don't let nobody tell you to delete it. Everybody already think you crazy as hell. Go ahead and keep ranting on Twitter. It's not gonna change the fact that, you know, a lot of people feel a certain way about you. Just keep doing the shit. Don't keep deleting it. That just make you a contradicting ass motherfucker. Just keep doing what you're doing. We still gonna buy your music. We still gonna watch you on TV. We still gonna watch the BET Awards. Whatever it is that you doing, we gonna still watch it, because ain't nobody fucking with you right now in R&B or pop. So keep doing what you're doing. Nobody's comparing to you in your personal life. I do think that all of them are immature. Drake, Chris Brown. Drake always singing about hoes in his music. He can't stand a breakup, but he got a new girlfriend every 2 days. You know, I just feel like they immature as hell. They'll grow out of it one day. If I had a lot of money, I would probably get into boxing matches with bitches like Rihanna and who else I really just don't like. I don't like Tiana Taylor. You know, I could see me if I had money and we was in the same place. Some shit I done said on YouTube, getting back to them and we fighting, because I don't like them per se. I'm immature, they immature, we immature. So I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna pick a side in the situation, but I will say it was interesting to watch on Twitter all these people just going crazy and making up all these stories and adding all this extra shit to it. It's just ridiculous how whatever happened turned into 15 other things and all of that. So let's talk about Chris Brown and Drake. Basketball Wives. So reportedly, some members of the Basketball Wives have been fired. Keisha, Royce, and Jennifer. I could see Jennifer not getting fired, but Jennifer quitting, because, to be honest, she really wasn't there for these hoes all season. So, Jennifer, move on with your life. I think you should move on with your life. You've never really been what Evelyn always got to say about that life. You ain't about that Basketball Wives reality show life. Don't be about that life. Go be about something else. You know, stick to your lipstick or lip gloss or whatever you have on made. Just come up with some more colors, because all they keep saying is you got 5 colors. Bitch, make it 10 colors. And every time they say how many colors you don't have, bitch, you add 5 more. That's what you do. Keep adding 5 more. Keisha, yeah, nobody really gives a shit if you don't come back. You really didn't do much of anything but run from everyone on the show. You ran from Kenya. You ran from Tammy. Well, most people run from Tammy, but had you been the one to stick up to Tammy dead in her face, you would be the person that people would respect, because you stood up to a bully. You might have got your ass whooped or whatever. It's just like the Tammy and Evelyn fight. To me, they both got their ass whooped in a sense. I don't think one won over the other, but Evelyn still got her job. Royce. This season, Royce has been more on a positive outlet of herself. She's been acting, working on some fitness stuff. I think that's a good look. Royce really didn't have too much camera time with other cast members other than like Tammy. So her leaving the show really doesn't make me a difference, because I've been protesting that we get a bigger bitch for the show anyway. I want someone who's about 44, older than Tammy, bigger than Tammy, and could whoop some ass. That's who I want to be on the show, even though this is probably going to be their last season, because honestly, we're getting tired of the Basketball Wives. I could say that their reunion show was trash. The best reunion show this year was Atlanta Housewives, and they did, I'm kind of on the fence about Basketball Wives, whether when it comes back on I'll be geeked to watch it, or if I'll find something else to do like homework. Single ladies, people were I got asked why I didn't talk about single ladies, I think, in my last video. I don't know if I did or not, but I'm not really enjoying single ladies. Like I said, it's become very predictable. I don't like to watch a show where I can tell what the next thing is going to happen. I'm glad Lisa Ray got a job, but I'm not going to watch the show anymore. I think it's kind of corny now. And I'm tired of them trying to be like Dynasty, which that's a little before my time. But anyway, I've watched reruns of Dynasty. I watched SoapNet and a show, and this is bougie ass show called Dynasty from the 80s, with all these rich people who do rich people shit. And it seems to me like they trying to like take little bits and pieces from the soap operas, like All My Children and One Life to Live, that all got canceled, by the way. So single ladies, I would pretty much watch what y'all doing right now, because you could be sending yourself to being canceled if nobody was watching All My Children and One Life to Live. I, even as a kid, know about Erica Kane and all of them and all that stuff, and if that couldn't sustain on TV, neither will your show. Nobody's fucking with y'all, and I don't even see nobody reviewing about y'all no more. That's the crazy thing. Like, nobody's reviewing about your show, and y'all just came back on like 3 weeks ago. Nobody even gives a fuck right now. Either spice the show up or cancel it. It's other shows that VH1 could be putting their money behind other than yours. And that's all I got to say about that. And see, I got a long list of shit. I don't know if y'all can see it. I don't want to put it in too close, and then y'all can see how bad my handwriting is. But I was reading the Chicago Tribune. I'm in a business class, a business management class, and my professor asks every time we come to class, so what did you guys learn in the news? And as usual, nobody has anything to say, because we don't watch the news. We don't watch the news. We don't read the news. And if one day he asked me personally, like, so what did you hear in the news? I got to telling him about some shit I read on Media Takeout. And had the whole class laughing, and now this is what we talking about. So, Professor Jackson, if you're out there, which I hope you're not watching my reviews, if you are, I did read the Chicago Tribune website news today, and I'm going to tell you what I learned. And if you don't watch this, I'm going to repeat it in class on Monday, so I can get my little 5 minutes of props, because I need an A out of your class this summer. I'm trying to graduate. I need to keep my 3.0 GPA. Give me that A. So, Ron Emanuel, who is our mayor, whose name, I didn't really know he was the mayor. Well, I kind of did, but I don't know. I know who our president is. I know who our vice president is. But I don't really give a fuck who our mayor is. You see what I'm saying? So, our mayor decided, I'm just going to put it like this. Somebody put an ordinance proposal out there about, instead of arresting people who have 15 grams or less, instead of arresting them and sending them to jail, which you can get like 6 months in jail or 2 years probation for having 15 grams of marijuana or less, they are proposing that instead of doing that they're going to charge you a fine, a ticket, or the police will issue a ticket in between $100 and $500. Now, a study showed, that was also on the website, that last year here in Chicago, the police arrested 18,298 people for having 10 grams or less in their possession. So I multiplied that by 100, and I got $1,829,000, and I said that wrong. $1,829,800. Now, according to the news, we are in debt somewhere between like $500,000 million to $1 billion, some crazy shit. I don't know. I'm not really concerned about the city debt because I got debt of my own. Y'all want to take care of debt? Take care of my goddamn debt. I got student loans. Take care of that. So, $1.8 million that you can get a year for charging people, I think it's a smart thing. I think sometimes the law system puts people in jail for stupid shit. I mean, smoking weed isn't legal. I'm not a weed smoker. But smoking weed isn't legal. But, I think it's good if you get them a ticket because then that's going to make them go buy the shit twice as hard because now they know that they won't go to jail for having a little dime bag, whatever they smoke. I don't know. Having a little weed, knowing that they're going to get $100 fine. You know how many tickets you going to give out? And you just said it was 18,000 people who had under 10 grams. So, I think that that's a smart concept and an easy way for us to get some of our money. Now, I know only half those people will, a quarter of those people are actually going to pay the ticket, but it's still more money coming into the city that we had. I think it's stupid sometimes when they harass these young black men and they just got one blunt on them and you taking them to jail over one blunt. Really, is it that serious? Get their ass $100 ticket and send them on their merry way. It'll probably be less violence and less black men will be running from the police for no reason because a lot of them get scared when they see them and they just start running. I just think that's a real smart thing to do, and I want to know what everybody else thinks about that because I think it's smart to just get him a ticket instead of arresting him and cluttering up the jails just because you want to get high. Just make it legal. I just think if the government makes it legal and they sell it, that's more money coming in. It's just like a time where alcohol was illegal and outlawed and Al Capone and them was selling, liquor to bars and getting all the money. That became a real big problem in our U.S. history when they found out how much money these cats was bringing in off selling shit that's illegal. Make it legal and y'all can make all the money. Think about that, Obama. Think about that. That's a very smart concept. And I think that's all that I have to talk about. I think that's it. Oh, no it's not. I wanted to talk about Poochal for a second. Third one from the game who I think is so fucking fine. So fucking fine, but I stopped liking him when I found out he was married to a white woman with 3 kids. Now I know what y'all gonna say. Nina, don't start that shit about black men dating white women. Why? I'm mad about it. You see all this light-skinnedness? Fuck you need a white woman for. But anyway, that's a whole nother show, and now I will have to have a whole panel, which I'm gonna get a whole panel and we can sit and argue and debate how we feel about this. But he was on, this is like his second or third time being on the radio, I think, with the Breakfast Club. He just keeps showing the fuck up, looking busted as hell. It's like he tries to dress with some extra hood swag when he go up in there with some dingy ass hoodies and crooked fitty caps and just all the shit Poochal ain't know nothing about. He ain't about that life. But he goes in there and he's with Consequence, who used to be signed to Good Music. I've heard of Consequence. He had a few tracks I downloaded that I liked. I didn't know he looked like that though. Now I know why. I ain't never seen him on TV because he's ugly as hell with some big ass teeth. I mean, them motherfuckers was huge. I thought they was gonna fall out his mouth. They was so big and you could just see the design of how his tooth grew in his mouth. I thought they was gonna fall out his damn mouth. That's one nigga I would not let go nowhere near my pussy. He be done bit the shit off on accident. Oops. And y'all know once they bite it off, it's gone. So I don't know why he was there with him, because it's like Consequence, even though I just said all that about him being ugly, he was really smart when he was explaining, the rap business and all that as he sees it. Because I won't say that everything he said was true, but how he perceived it to be. He was pretty bright. He sounded like he had him a college education. But Poochal was talking about he want to stay on the game and all that. Fuck the game! Poochal, I don't even know, you digging a bigger hole for yourself. Whether it's true or not that they want to get rid of you and Tia Mowry, whether that's true or not, You should not be on TV or on the radio speaking about it. Not at all, because then you got Charlamagne, who he's silly, he don't mean no harm, but he being silly saying shit gonna get you in more trouble. You can't set yourself up to be in them situations. Don't start talking about you wanted to stay on the game until you are no longer on the game. Don't do that. You fucking it up for yourself. Even though if the game get canceled, I wouldn't care, because the game to me, since it's been on BET, it's another, like, single ladies, they trying to make the black folks extra bougie and extra hood and extra this and just extra as hell. I don't watch that show, and I don't watch the show that come on after the game. But, you know, I like, since I grew up watching Sister and all the other, like, Tia and Tamara shit, I really would appreciate if they kept her job, and Raquel Wendy, whatever, Robinson. I think that's your name. I'm sorry if I fucked it up, because I like you, but I can't get your name right now. I would like for y'all to have a job, but I'm not here for the game. Sorry. But Pooch was talking about he want to be a rapper, and he sound like my 5-year-old cousin trying to read. Nigga, kill yourself. You ever heard a 5-year-old read? They be like, you know, they always know the 1 and 2 letter words. You say, I am going. You know, it was just like that. He was rapping like, niggas retarded. Pooch, are you retarded? I know you can read, because you gotta read them scripts on the game. But like, your character that you played, Derwin, even though y'all remember back when Derwin used to be a goofball, it's like that was more Pooch than the Derwin that they got on the show now, because he was just retarded trying to rap and just putting yourself out there bogus. Like, I know you married to a white woman, but do you have to act like you married to a white woman? You was just too much. And all this talking that made my throat just dry. He was just doing too much, just looking like a lame. But he is cute. I mean, I wouldn't mind dating him, but I would have to put some tape around his mouth. Let's just look at each other. You know what I mean? Let's just have an intimate conversation with our eyes. You know, that's the kind of relationship I would have with Pooch Hall. But in that token, I'm Nina K. Simone, and I'm out. Peace.